Shalom, shalom. Hey, this is the worship of Tammuz part 2. Because I want you to I want to basically connect everything for you so that you can see what I'm saying is accurate and true. Um because it's one thing for me to say it, but then it's another thing for the word to say it. You know what I mean? Because the word is basically a history book. But it's the truth too. You see what I'm saying? From the beginning of time, until this time now. And the reason why I guess the Most High is leading me to do this is because, the Most High is giving Yasharel a chance to return to him before he closes the door. And so you're gonna have to come out of the church. You're gonna have to come out of the false religion of Allah, Muslim, or whatever you want to call it. And some of you will say that I'm challenging your beliefs and your religions and your practices and your customs, but I'm not, because when you go back and do the history, you got to go back and you got to go back to Hagar. And Hagar was the concubine of excuse me. Hagar was the concubine of Abraham. And if you know about Genesis, then you know that when the Malak came. Hey, no, lay down, be quiet. We're not gonna do that right now. Lay down. So if you know about if you know about Hagar and Abraham and Sarah, the Malakim or Malak came to Sarah and Abraham and promised them a child. And because Sarah was his wife, and Hagar was basically Sarah's handmaid. And like some people say in the seminary, I've heard it all the time that Sarah was trying to bring forth the promise of God, the promises of God, before their time or whatever. But you have to understand this was something literal too, and that it even applies to history now. Everything is tied in, even from Esau to Jacob, and why right now why we have been oppressed as a people. It's basically all right now. Hey, quiet. While we were oppressed, because you know what I'm saying, because we basically stole the birthright, so-called stole the birthright. But it was already a prophecy, and I'm not trying to get off the subject, but I'm just trying to do a backdrop and help you see the history. You see what I'm saying, of how we got to where we at. Like I told you, history is important. But it was already prophesied that the older son would serve the younger, and that's what happened. Because again, some people would say he stole it from him, and that Sarah, or excuse me, Rachel, not Rachel, excuse me, Rebecca, which was Isaac's wife, was helped him steal the blessing. But she didn't, because what she understood is that the customs in the covenant was something very important, and that Esau was going to squander it, because he was a man of the field. He liked to be in the field. He liked to hunt wild game, and he had no affection for the things of the house, the things of the temple. So that's why, and even the Most High said, Esau, Jacob have I loved and Esau have I hated. Why did he say that? Because Esau didn't care about the scriptures. He cared more about material things, and that's why he received a material blessing. You know what I mean? But anyway, going back to my subject, uh, the worship of Tammuz, and how it applied to, Sarah and Hagar. So Ishmael, as we know, was the first son, and so Abraham was teaching Ishmael some of the beliefs or some of the customs and the practices that we practice as Israelites or as Yasharel under the covenant, because Abraham was the progenitor, if I'm saying it right, prognosticator, something like that. Don't get me to saying big words, but he was the first, the patriarch, basically, of the covenant. He cut the covenant with the Most High, and then he taught it to Isaac, and then Isaac taught it to Jacob and Esau, and eventually Esau didn't keep it, and Jacob ended up getting the 12 tribes, which is where Yasharel comes from. But that's why, when you look at Muslims, what I'm saying, they don't eat pork. A lot of the practices that they believe in and that they practice are parallel with the Torah, because in the beginning he was being taught the Torah. And but what I'm saying, eventually he was kicked out because Sarah began to complain to Abraham about Ishmael making fun of Isaac, who was the rightful child of the covenant, because he was the legitimate child, basically. And so Hagar and Ishmael was kicked out by Sarah, because Abraham left it up to Sarah to do whatever with her handmaid. And so she kicked him out. But remember, an angel came to Hagar and told her that her child too would be a great nation, right? So the worship of Tammuz, we're going to come back to Deuteronomy 28 and 64, because this is part 2 of the worship of Tammuz, and I'm going to show you where how all of this lines up and why I put this video out. But first we're gonna go to let's go to Psalms 83. And so it's gonna say Ishmael. Ishmael was basically the brother of hey, get over here and come sit down and be quiet. Hey, come sit down. Excuse me. This is Psalms 83. Keep not thy silence, O Elohim. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Elohim. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their heads. So all these other nations lifted up their head against Yasharel. Basically, they came together and conspired together. They have taken crafty counsel. So crafty counsel is basically, they went in secret and said, man, these are the children of Elohim, and our rightful place is to rule the earth. You know what I'm saying? Because we are basically the priest and the high priest. Well, we're the priest, and Yeshua is the high priest. So basically we supposed to have rule over the earth anyway. But because we didn't keep the covenant, we were basically came up under the curse. And so they took crafty counsel to take our position and to take our birthright and our inheritance from us. But you know, when Abraham made the covenant, he sealed that you can't take that away from us. You know what I'm saying? We you know, as now waking back up to the covenant. Anyway, uh and consulted against thy hidden ones. You know, we are the hidden ones. You know what I mean? You know, that's why we don't have an identity. That's why, you know, we don't know who we are. Our last names are the last names of our captors. You see what I'm saying? The last names of our slave masters. You see what I'm saying? That is our last name. That's, you know, Brown, Smith, um, Ford, um, I mean, just the list goes on. You know, Roosevelt. You know, all these were, you know, these were presidents and people of power. Washington. You know that your last name comes from your slave master. You see what I'm saying? So that's why that's why they call you the hidden ones, because you don't know your identity. You don't know who you are, because your last name and everything was taken from you. Your name, your rightful name was taken from you. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation." So we don't know we a nation. You know, we think we Creek Indian and we all these we, you know, we Negroes, we, you know, African American and all these other. We don't know that we a nation too. Um, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So we don't know who we are. We're now waking up to who we are, remembering who we are. But for 400 years, we haven't even remembered who we were. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. So they have consulted. They are confederate. They have all come together against us. The tabernacles of Edom, which is Esau, which was our brother, and the Ishmaelites, which was Ishmael, which was Isaac's brother, half brother, of Moab. Moab is Lot's children, which was Abraham's brother, who he had children. Lot had children by his daughters, which is Moab and Ammon, you know, so, and the Hagarenes, Gabel. So I'm just, you know, and Ammon is another one of Lot's son. So all these nations, you know, they came against us, the Amalekites and the Philistines. The Philistines was one of our nemesis. You know, that's who David beat Goliath. Goliath was a Philistine. Goliath was. The inhabitants of Tyre. Tyre was basically, you know, like your Tyre is basically off the coast of Israel, somewhere around there. You know, basically you know, around I can't think of the name, Phoenicia, somewhere around there. But I don't know who that is. But anyway, you know, they all conspired against us. Okay, so now look, we're gonna go back, because I'm trying to help you see, you know, that I'm not, you know, telling you no lie. I left it in the description on the last video. We're gonna go to Ezekiel. Hold on. We're gonna go to Deuteronomy 28 and 64, and it's like I said, that it had been prophesied, you know, the blessings and the cursings, that if we kept the commandments, we would be blessed, but if we didn't, we would be cursed. And this was the curse. So, in thy Adonai Yahuwah shall scatter thee among all people. So we're scattered all across the earth, you know, from the four corners of the earth, north, east, west, and south. Shall scatter thee among the people. We're scattered amongst all the people. You know, that's why you can find us in England, Australia. That's why you can find us in Argentina, Brazil. You can find us in the Caribbeans. You can find us in Africa. You can find us, you know, pretty much all around the globe. from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods. So in those countries where we're at, we serve other gods. Christianity is another god. Islam is another god. You know, we are serving other gods. Some of us believe in Buddha, some of us believe in Confucian, some of we believe a lot of things. Because we have been scattered and up under our captors, we learned to serve their gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So there goes the wood and stone. So, like I said in my last message, what do the Muslims or Islam have? They go around the cobblestone, right? They go to Mecca. And, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Just tell me, if I'm lying, just tell me I'm lying, But they go to Mecca. They go around a cube, right? Because this cube has a meteorite in the middle of it that, they believe came from outer space or whatever. And they believe that the God sent it or whatever, and they go around it. I could be wrong. I don't know everything about the religion because I never studied it. As far as the only religion that I've been associated with is Christianity. I know a lot about Christianity. I just know very little about Allah and the Muslim, or whatever. But I just know that's not our God. The people, that our people. If you were born and raised in America and your father's mother, your mother's mother was a slave, you know what I'm saying? You are not a Muslim, you know what I'm saying? You are an Israelite, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, y'all don't gotta believe me, but like I said, the Most High is got me doing this message because the door is about to close. So you're gonna have to make a choice and a decision. You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna take you there to where you know I'm not lying. So let's go to Joshua 24 and 13, 14. And I have given you land for which ye did not labor, and cities which you built not, and ye dwell in them, of the vineyards and olive yards which ye planted not, do ye eat. Now, therefore, so we had lands and stuff, but we lost it because we chose to serve these other gods. We chose to serve other religions. We chose to worship Tammuz and which is basically modern today Christianity. You see what I'm saying? It's the worship of Tammuz too, because it all comes from basically comes from Christianity. Basically, I mean, it's all the same. Now therefore fear Adonai Yahuwah, and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood in Egypt, and serve ye Yahuwah Adonai. So you see, we're on the other side of the water. We're on the other side of the Atlantic. We're in between the Pacific and the Atlantic. That is on the other side of the water. See, prophecy, it goes on like when the Most High said, "Let there be light," and it's light every day. So this being the light, it didn't just stand for back then, it stands for now too. You see what I'm saying? And so now we are on the other side of the waters. You see what I'm saying? In a land that we didn't even know of. We didn't know, we had no idea of. We had came out of Egypt, side of the flood in Egypt. You can look at that as the Red Sea, because that was the flood, or the flood. Regardless, we're on the other side of the flood, which is basically water, because water's flood, right? And if it seems evil unto you to serve Adonai Yahuwah, choose ye this day whom ye shall serve, whether the gods which your fathers served, that were on the other side of the flood, are the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell now. So we dwelling in the land of the Amorites basically right now. But as for me and my house, we shall serve Adonai. So we're gonna serve Yahuwah. We're gonna revert back to or the Most High has looked up on us. He has saw our affliction, you, and he has heard our cry just like he did in Egypt, and he has waved his hand over us again and given us a chance to come back again and serve our God, and to be protected, and to be defended, and to be loved, and to be provided for, all the things that a father does for his children. But now I'm gonna take you to Ezekiel, because like I said in the Worship of Tammuz, part 1, that it was either Jeremiah or Ezekiel. So after I got off, I went and looked it up, and it was Ezekiel. Ezekiel 8, and we're gonna start at the first verse. And like I told you, you know what I'm saying, the same things that they was doing in the temples, they started putting hieroglyphics on the wall, because they started worshiping the fallen ones. So let me read it for you. And it came to pass in the 6th year, in the 6th month, in the 5th day of the month, almost 666, right? As I sat in the 9th house, and the elders of Judah sat before me, that the hand of Yahuwah fell there upon me. So he's having a vision. Then I beheld, and lo, a likeness as the appearance of fire, from the appearance of his loins, even downward fire, and from his loins even upward, as the appearance of brightness, as the color of amber. So now he's getting to see the Most High, basically, because our Elohim is a consuming fire, right? The God that we serve, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And he put forth the form of an hand, and took me by a lock of my head, which we call dreads, and but they really locks. And the Spirit lifted me up between the earth and the heavens, and brought me into the vision of God, of Elohim, to Jerusalem, to the door of the inner gate that looketh toward the north, where was the seat of the image of jealousy, which provoketh to jealousy, which we understand that our Elohim is a jealous God, right? So now he's come to the gate of jealousy, because the Most High Yahweh will have no other God before him. That's why the first commandment is, thou shalt have no other God. And the second commandment is, thou shalt not make any graven images unto yourself, because you have made an idol as a God. And behold, the glory of Elohim, of Yasharel, was there, according to the vision that I saw in the plain. Then said he unto me, Son of man, look up thine eyes now the way toward the north. So I lifted up my eyes the way toward the north, and behold, northward at the gate of the altar, the image of jealousy in the entry. So here's the image of jealousy. You know what I'm saying? The image of jealousy is, basically, you know what I'm saying, if you want to be accurate and correct, you know what I'm saying, murder. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, from jealousy, you kill something when you get jealous. You know what I'm saying? You want to go on a rampage. That's just like a man with a woman. If this is supposed to be your woman right here, you know what I'm saying, and you've been treating her and protecting her and providing for her and giving her all kind of wisdom and knowledge and understanding, and she running amok. You know what I'm saying? And you find out, man, you know what I'm saying, and you got a feeling in your body that she cheating. You become jealous, so you start watching her and stuff, her whereabouts and where she go, and you find out she's sleeping with somebody else, and you got your guete on you. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Some men might, you know what I'm saying, take your life in. I don't mean to talk about, I'm just keeping it real though. You know what I'm saying? He said furthermore, so, and that's the same way with Yahuwah. When we start to when we fornicate with other gods, when we fraternize, with other gods, then the Most High becomes jealous. And what does it, I'm just saying, that's what a jealous man, they try to tell us now that, oh, you a punk and all this other stuff if you kill another man over a woman. Nah, man, she should, you shouldn't be doing people like that. If you want to be a whore, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead. It's your prerogative. You know what I'm saying? But don't be trapping no man and you know what I'm saying, and talking about you love him and you want to be with him, and then you sneaking around. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, this is deep, man. I can't even get into it. Man, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I don't know. Y'all might not be ready for me, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying, really, really, you know what I'm saying, know what's going on when it comes to these scriptures. A lot of people ain't gonna speak. I might need to do a Patreon or something, you know what I'm saying, where, we can really talk about it, you know what I'm saying? But, I need some, I guess some moderators or something, we can come together and put together a channel or whatever y'all want to do, and then we can speak on it, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, he said, furthermore unto me, son of man, see if thou what they do, even the great abomination that the house of Yasharel committeth here, that I should go far off from my sanctuary. So he gonna turn his back on his sanctuary, because we his sanctuary, right? Well, at that time it was the temple, you know what I'm saying? So now, his spirit is gonna leave the temple. When you go back and you read the Bible, every time the spirit of the Most High wasn't with Yasharel, it was because, you know what I'm saying, just like when with Joshua, when they fought AI was the littlest people that they fought, and they got beat. So the Most High had them go house by house, family by family, until they found the person who had, because when they went into Jericho, the Most High told them not to take no booty, which booty is spoil, right? So the Most High told them not to take nothing, because it's the first city, and the first city, everything in the first of everything belongs to him. But one of the families ended up taking one, I forgot his name. You just got to go read on Joshua. It's in I think it's in Judges, it might be in Deuteronomy. It's in Joshua. Yeah, it's in Joshua. Where they went into AI, right? And so they narrowed it down to the family that it was, and found out that they had took some booty or spoil from, you know what I'm saying, from what the Most High told them not to, and they was all destroyed or deleted. Let me say that, for the sake of YouTube. And so the Most High spirit basically is leaving the temple, which every time they broke the commandments, the Most High spirit wouldn't go with them in the fight, and they would lose. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things. If you're not winning the battle, that's why you're not winning the battle. You know what I'm saying? Or the war, because the spirit of the Most High is not with you. So you have to be, being obedient to the word. Let me hurry up and finish though. Even the great abomination that the house of Yasharel committeth here, that I should go far off from my sanctuary. But turn ye yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations. And he brought me to the door of the court, and when I looked, behold, a hole in the wall. Go back to the Worship of Tammuz part 1, and you'll hear me talk about the door in the wall. Then said he unto me, Son of man, dig now in the wall. And when I had digged in the wall, behold, a door. So, dalet is for the door. So, in Hebrew. So behind this door, they were doing abominations. And he said unto me, Go in and behold the wicked abominations that they do here. So basically, these priests were actually serving other gods, who are claiming to be priest of the Most High, claiming to basically, they was breaking the covenant, which, you know what I'm saying, the third covenant is thou shalt not take the Most High's name in vain. So they was basically taking his name in vain, because they was claiming that they were priests, and that they follow the commandments, they follow the laws, the statutes, and the commandments, but behind closed doors, you know what I mean, they were serving other gods. You see what I'm saying? The abomination. That is an abomination. So I went in and saw, and behold, every form of creeping thing, an abominable beast, and all the idols of the house of Yasharel portrayed upon the walls round about. Now, what was in Egypt? In Egypt, they had hieroglyphics on the wall. The same thing that was in that was in Babylon. They had hieroglyphics. How you think you know about Gershom? You know, who was you know, he was a giant. You know, they you know, when they went over there, you know, to Saddam, you know, fight, that's part of the reason they was trying to find. Man, all this information is online, man. Look, man, I'm telling you, man, it's deep around here, man. I ain't gonna get into all of that because I don't want. I mean, you know, I ain't tripping, but I'm just saying, you just gotta go study for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I went in and saw, and behold, every creeping thing, and abominable beasts, and all the idols of the house of Israel portrayed upon the wall round about. And so, you know, that's like, you know, your temple is his house. What are you putting into your house? What are you putting on your temple? You know, are you inscripting the word in your temple on the walls, or is your walls full of hieroglyphics of abominable things? You see what I'm saying? And there stood before them 70 men of the ancient of the house of Israel, meaning that their families went back to the priestly order from Zadok and I forgot the other one's name. I can't think. It always slipped my mind. I can't never think of the other one's name, but I know Zadok was one of them, of the high priestly order from the tribe of Levi. I'll have to go back and remember. And in the midst of them stood Jezaniah, the son of Sephaim, with every man his censer in his hand, and a thick cloud of incense went up. So they was basically offering up profane prayers, smoke. So basically, you know, they basically practicing witchcraft, calling up on the dead. You see what I'm saying? Then said he unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen that the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark? Because see, what you do in the dark is gonna come into the light. That's why a lot of witchcraft and a lot of you know hoodoo, voodoo, all that stuff, it go on in the dark, in the night. You know what I'm saying? They use chickens and stuff, things that wasn't according to the sacrifices that we were supposed to be offering. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of our ancestors and a lot of our people today practice that. Every man in the chamber of his imagery, for they say, Yahweh seeth us not, that Yahweh hath forsaken the earth. He said, do unto me, turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of Yahweh's house, which was toward the north, and behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. So I showed you the star in the crescent, right? That's Tammuz. So basically they were worshiping the stars, astrology. That's why a lot of women is into astrology. You know what I'm saying? Into their signs. You know what I'm saying? Oh girl, I'm a Cancer, I'm a Virgo, and I'm a Pisces, and you know what I'm saying? I'm a Taurus, but that's just the star that I was born in. You know, but I mean, even the original calendar goes off of the 12 zodiac signs, because the zodiac signs is in the heavens. But at the same time, we don't apply those things to our life. We apply the scriptures to our life, and that's a lot of what Abraham had left Chaldean for, because that's what his father and his peoples and them was practicing, was horoscopes and all of that stuff, divination. You know, when the Bible clearly tells us not to practice divination and necromancy. You know what I mean? So and he brought me into the inner court of Yahweh's house, and behold, at the door of the temple of Adonai, Between the porch and the altar were about 25 men with their backs toward the temple of Yahuwah and their faces toward the east, and they worship the sun toward the east. So what do Muslims pray toward? The east. That's why, you know what I'm saying, I really don't get with a lot of Hebrew Israelites, because now they starting to pray to the east. You know what I'm saying? Then they gonna tell me, you know what I'm saying? That's why I don't mess with a lot of Hebrew Israelites, because if you praying to the east, you wrong. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta pray to no east. You know what I'm saying? He everywhere. And then they try to justify it by saying, well, Daniel, when he prayed out the window, he prayed toward the east. Man, if Daniel was in Babylon, because Daniel was from the tribe of Yehuda, if he was in Babylon, then he would be praying to the south. Then if he was praying out the window, because if he was praying to the east, he would be praying to like Tarshish or something. So man, that's why I don't really get with a lot of these Israelites, man, because they saying, I just do my own thing, because if you praying to the east when you pray, you know what I'm saying, you lost me there. You know what I'm saying? Judgment must first begin at the house of Yasharel. So if you praying to the east, you dead wrong. You know what I'm saying? The Most High gonna get you for that. You know what I'm saying? Because the Most High is everywhere. Why we gotta pray to the east? So anyway, man, I hope I was able to help, somebody, man. Like, share, and subscribe, man. Shalom.